Hi, I am Ananto. Today we are going to discuss the topic from OTBA cases living on the edge 2014-15. And now I am going to introduce first of all what is living on the edge. This is nothing, it's a simple migration from villages to urban areas and then from urban areas to city or town. And there is big difference between these urban areas and cities and town. We should understand first of all this. Villages from urban area. Urban area means small block and district level city, that is called urban areas. Then from there to metro city, that is called town and cities. In literal sense, that is shifting from villages to actually town and cities. That is, there are two factors which is mainly responsible for this. Because in India there are pull factors, which is just like the homeopathic treatment, and push factor, which is like the allopathic treatment. We should understand first of all what is homeopathic treatment. If we are getting any headache, if we are taking homeopathic medicine first try to find out the symptoms, then that particular medicine suppress the headache. But allopathic treatment, if we are taking Disprin, say for example any medicine name, then what they are doing, they are just suppressing the headache without finding out the symptoms. The same way government of India is also doing the same thing. Without improving, without any growth, improvement, development of villages, they are trying their level best to find out the solutions for the village people, how to stop them, which is not possible. Because daydreams, they are coming to the village, from the villages to the town, city, urban area for daydreams. They will be able to fulfill their all satisfaction, all desires, everything. But in fact, they are getting into more trouble, more obstacles, more hurdles, and day by day, due to this, they are forced to live in slums. That's why in India, more slums are coming in more metro cities, and due to this, their lives are more miserable, and they are forced to live in such a situation. At least we can't say this is considered as a civilized society. So now we will take into consideration challenges and limitations by this. But before that, I will introduce my team on right hand side, Mr. Sanjay, hello. Mr. Arun, my left hand side, hello. Mr. Asim, and Mr. Kalpit.
I think, in my opinion, the most important challenge is job opportunities. They are not getting the proper job opportunities in the rural areas. That's why they are moving to the in search of a good job, good nutrition, other things. So that they are migrating to urban areas. So they are unknowingly they are keeping more and more burden on the urban areas. They want to improve their life. They want that our next generation should be getting more and more good education, more and more facilities. So in search of those things, they are migrating.
Add on, the healthcare facilities here are comparatively, far better than village areas.
Yes.
If somebody fall ill with any severe disease or severe problem, they should not get proper treatment in village or remote areas. So
in fact, in rural areas, there are no good hospitals. So in search of good hospitals, dispensaries, they are coming to towns and cities.
Yeah.
So this is the problem. So
coming to the problem of this urbanization, one thing is very much clear, that people who migrate to cities for better prospects do not come here out of choice, but it is a matter of survival.
Yes,
that's true.
Almost half of world's population is living in urban areas today, and there are 400 cities with more than 1 million people.
Yes, that's true.
And in developing countries, it is 40%, below 40% urban areas, while in developed countries, it is more than 70%. People are living in urban areas.
Correct.
So, what I would like to share that, what is happening, what are the growth engines of a society? There are new factories coming up. So, if the government should rather have a policy that in the next 10 years, that we are going to give approvals to 80% of those factories, new factories coming up, which are closer towards the rural areas rather than closer to the city. One thing. And then we need to build satellite towns around cities, because cities are becoming very, very congested, and they have so many problems arising out of that. Infrastructure and sewage and waste management is becoming unmanageable. Recently, we would also have heard the Prime Minister coming up with the initiative of creating 100 new cities in the country. So this is also a measure towards the decongestion of the current cities.
Yes.
So I think these...
Sir, I will add one more thing here. The biggest challenge before the government is to provide food, clothes and shelter for the village people. Because the only reason this is the basic needs of the people which is not being met by the government. That's why they want to migrate from their village to the urban and cities. If government is really, if their intentions are correct, if they are really providing food flow center, nobody will move from villages to this part. This is the first challenges before the government. And second challenge is, again here comes education part, which is very important.
Yes.
If they are not getting education, okay, parents thinking, okay, I didn't get, it's okay, but my son and daughter definitely should get good education. That's why for this also they are moving from they want to move from the village to urban and city and town. So these two primary reasons, I think this is the biggest challenge for the government also. And at the same time, we can say limitations. If I will talk about limitations, government knows very well that our population, we are not in a position to control our population because there is no education, there is proper education.
Yes.
Because 80% people are illiterate, and government thinks that only by signing the signature it means literacy is there. No, this is not literacy. Literacy means very simple, those who read newspaper on daily basis, understand the newspaper and able to share the information and exchange information with everyone. That is called literacy. So if we will correct this part, definitely I think these challenges and limitations will be over. What do
It
you
also
say?
leads to some hidden challenges. Hidden challenges, like pollution.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
More will be the population density, more will be the pollution. We are getting closer to, polluted air, soil, contamination day by day.
To overcome these challenges of urbanization, it is very clear that we should devise some ways to create jobs for people.
Yes.
And we also make some settlements for shelter.
Correct.
And housing societies. And we should also involve the local communities with the government.
Yeah.
And we should develop our rural areas also, so that less and less burden will be transferred to the urban areas. If we will be developing rural areas, that can become a rural urban in the future.
Yeah.
So that should be our aim. Prime aim should be.
Sanjay.
And one more thing that what could be done, whatever agriculture-based industries are coming up or food processing plants are coming up, they should be closer to the villages rather than the cities again. That will again create more employment near
For the-
villages.
yeah, for the-
and the migration, the problem migration.
Now we will talk about
solved.
opportunity and benefits.
If upliftment of the rural areas is there, so if tourists are coming to India, so if they'll see the rural areas, they'll see that they'll have a very good picture of us.
Yeah.
So we need to, government has to take positive initiatives, and government has started. So they have taken a lot of steps, and in future we will definitely get some better result.
And there is also a trend of poor crop yields, and the government should devise the ways to develop the agriculture sector.
Correct.
And then we would be able to control this menace of urbanization.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. One more thing that can be done is basically water harvesting should be used as far as possible in the urban areas. So the problem of starting a more chlorination plants is obviated. One more thing that I was pointed out, that in the current situation in India, that the world is very confident that India is now going on a developmental mode, and so a lot of countries are approaching India for foreign direct investment. And to build those 100 cities, this is the best time to build those 100 cities and to decongest the country.
Yeah.
And we should encourage triple P,
Correct.
private public partnership, so that we can give more and more facilities for the local people.
Yes, and we can add here one more point. There are three sectors basically which we are supposed to develop: primary sector, secondary sector, and tertiary sector. So government should focus on primary sector, which is the small scale industries.
Yes.
If in the villages, nearby villages, we are able to develop the small scale industry, so definitely village people no need to move from the villages to the
So they will be
urban,
getting the
and
employment.
yeah, they are getting the employment, education, everything. So the question behind this is advantage, opportunities are there. We are supposed to provide them the opportunity, keeping in mind the intention of the country, means interest of the people uppermost in one's mind.
And now we have seen one development that more and more schools are coming in the rural areas.
Rural areas.
They are starting.
That is the reason.
They are cutting their cost.
Yeah.
So they are getting less paid teachers also. They have to pay very less rent for the premises also. So this is a good thing happening.
Yes.
And
So
there should also be upgradation of energy resources.
yes, that's true.
And
that's
we
true.
should also devise the alternate transport system.
Correct.
so that the pollution can be controlled.
And government should plant mostly industrialization nearby villages only, so that they are not supposed to move from that area to any other urban and city areas. This is the also second reason we can say that this way there will be more opportunities and more benefits for the village people also, and at the same time city people also. That's why Tata has set up the city near Jamshedpur, because village means rivers. Where the rivers are the resources, wherever rivers are there, big industries are there. So nearby villages, all rivers are there almost in India. So we should try our level best to give all the resources and sources nearby villages, so that we will be able to utilize the maximum benefits out of that. So now on the basis of that, I will conclude. Government should take initiative, and government should treat this living on the edge like homeopathic treatment. Means finding out the symptoms first and then try to correct it. Only then everything is possible. So thank you very much, all of you.